tension that East African community has no blessing, and you cannot defend the same. You see an East African community that is premised on diverging political ideologies, diverging economic ideologies, cannot be a blessed community. If you look at the example of the European Union that I had talked about at the start of this conversation, this is a union of members that have, one, a homogeneous political ideology, two, a homogeneous economic ideology, three, a homogeneous social ideology. So when you come here in East Africa, we have Rwanda, because you don't agree with because the issues between Uganda and Rwanda, this is what I have always observed, are non-issues. They are issues that have totally nothing to do with Ugandans. These are personal issues, like me, Julius and Kidega. We have known each other. Perhaps we have met on a forum and we don't agree on this, and we go back because you have a kingdom somewhere and I have a kingdom somewhere else. Then I said my kingdom should not interact with you. This is a social...
Yes, allow him to make his point,
a social disharmony that we cannot allude to say that we have a blessing. When you look at the term limits, you see, my brother, the political vibrator, stated categorically that our president was there at the time when they were signing the East African Treaty. And you know, this is 1995. How many presidents have we had in Kenya? And you know the blessings that come. Right now you're saying you cherish the vigor and the charisma that Ruto brings into the political equation in the East African community. Would you imagine that there would be someone with such a charisma before he came onto the political periphery? Meaning that to discover talent in the East African community, we must accept and grant merit where it is supposed to be accorded the first opportunity. That we must open the play field to have various actors. And by the way, even if you are very nice, you dance and reach at a point and say, okay, let me go aside so that the country can search from the political vibrators who will come and motivate others, you know, and this is where we would say we have a blessing. So having those differences in the infrastructural projects, you have an entire Democratic Republic of Congo that is not connected. Some places in Congo are virgin lands. No one has been there. You go there, you're discovering new plants, new forests, new animals, and you cannot see the evidence of life there. The road network is poor. We have been seeing in the Shujaa operation where Uganda was tasked to proceed and construct and open up roads before they can effectively implement their military operation. Such a country belonging to a bloc like the one we have here, you cannot allude to the fact that we have a blessing. So to have a community that is blessed, we must be premised, we must be anchored on a homogeneous political system. We must be anchored on closely related social cohesion factors. We must be having a reasonable level of economic development. A Burundi that is fragile as it is, that cannot have supply of fuel in a consistent period of 3 months, that they have to have a month where fuel is out of reach in the whole country. You cannot say that that country, because it's part of the East African community, which opportunities do they bring on board? Do they bring skills? Do they bring talent? Do they bring resources? What do they bring? There is nothing. So
maybe markets. Yes. First of all, I think sure you will, of course, respond. Of course.
I disagree
after
with this gentleman entirely. Everything on principle. Everything.
Everything you disagree.
First of all,